don't really feel like putting my face on camera, but I figured I should probably just let you guys know that everything is okay here. I've been a little quiet. The mood around the house has been a little bit gloomy because the weather has been a little bit gloomy. Today I'm making my sourdough bread. I started this last night, and I will link to my recipe in the description box, but it is absolutely wonderful. Sourdough is the way to go. It has got so much more flavor, and there's only 3 ingredients. It's flour, salt, and water. That's it. Your starter is flour and water, and then all you need is flour, starter, and water and salt. But these are absolutely great. This recipe can make 4 sourdough sandwich loaves, which is what I usually do, but I can also, last time I made 2 sandwich loaves and 1 large bolet in my Dutch oven. I like the artisan, bolet is what it's called. But it's very versatile. It is like a no screw up. I don't really think you can screw it up. I have accidentally left my sourdough in the fridge. You're supposed to bulk ferment it overnight in the fridge. I have left it in the fridge overnight and then a whole day and a whole night again before I actually took the time to bake it, and it's wonderful every single time. So I will link that in the description box, but I wanted you to see how pretty these loaves are beginning to. Bread, we are going to make butter. So this cream I ladled off actually 2 days ago from several gallons, and I think I made cheese. Yeah, I made a cheddar with it, but I messed up so many times with that cheddar. I literally wrote on my package when I put it on the vacuum seal. On the vacuum sealed cheese that it's cheddar-ish because I messed up so many different ways, but it smells good, so it'll be cheese. But I ladled off all this cream. I actually even have more, but half a gallon is a pretty good amount to fit in my Bosch mixer at one time. I absolutely adore my Bosch mixer for the purpose of butter making. I bought it a long time ago. I used to have a KitchenAid mixer, and I couldn't do whole wheat, more than like 5 cups of whole wheat in my KitchenAid mixer, so I upgraded to a Bosch mixer, and I'm so glad I did, because even I didn't know it at that time. I don't use it at all for bread anymore, like ever. I don't think hardly, unless I'm doing a yeasted bread, which I don't do very often, because sourdough you don't ever really need it. But that Bosch mixer has been the best thing to make butter. It is so fast. I definitely like. I don't like one utilitarian thing that only serves one purpose. So I love the like the Dandy Gym or whatever, that butter churners, but that's all they do. So this is great for me. I've actually even made it in my Vitamix, which is also one of my absolute top favorite things that I have in my kitchen. The Vitamix, probably even over my Bosch mixer, because I use this all the time. It's actually out on my counter and it gets used 4 or 5 times a day. I promise you. I'm about to actually get some frozen mangoes and put some frozen mangoes in it and make a little mango ice cream. with some dates. But I'm not going to show you that because that's not a recipe. It's just nothing. What was I saying? Okay. But I got this out of the fridge. Got this out of the fridge. We're going to let it come to room temperature. I usually set it out for an hour. It's probably not room temperature. It's probably about 50 degrees before I blend it in my Bosch mixer to make butter. That should be about the same time these are ready to come out of the oven. So we're going to plan that out perfectly. So we have fresh churned butter as soon as this comes out of the oven. But actually what I'm most looking forward to is I have finally an avocado that is ready. At the same time I'm making bread. So this avocado toast has been on my thoughts and prayers and mind for many a night. So it's coming to fruition today. Gonna do it. So yeah, that's what I have going on. I'm also going to here this afternoon make some energy balls for the children. Making some kombucha.
With a cat. Cat may like it. Then pop, pop, pop.
So I am starting kombucha here. I have a SCOBY that has a gallon of kombucha already. So I'm just getting my next round started. So this is supposed to be black tea. I only have oolong tea, and I googled it, and Google said it was fine. So maybe don't do this unless you know, but Google said yes. So I'm pretty sure it was 6 bags of tea, and I filled that up with water, boiling water. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, and while that is sitting and steeping, I'm getting my containers ready for the second ferment of this kombucha. So I reuse kombucha containers like from the store, the glass usually, or you can use other jars. And I put just a piece or two of fruit in each one. I actually really like mango in them, and I had actually finished up all my mango, but I have blueberries and strawberries, I think is what I have here. Yeah. So I just stick a piece or two in each of my kombucha bottles. And that is going to be for the second ferment. So this kombucha you could drink right now. It is finished, but I like to ferment it a second time with fruit. So I'm going to end up putting the kombucha that is finished in each of these containers and then tighten down the lid really well and let that ferment for several days and then stick it in the fridge. I will be sure to leave the SCOBY in the bottom of this container, this pickle jar, along with about a cup of kombucha to get kickstart my next gallon of kombucha going. And this isn't the best way. I mean, you're really not even supposed to have metal around it, but this works. This is just what I've done. I would love to get one of those kombucha containers, the ceramic containers that set up on the counter, and have a spigot at the bottom, but we're just not there yet. And this works fine. My SCOBY I need to actually split again, and after this next round of kombucha, I'm going to go ahead and split it, and I'll just start doing 2 gallons of kombucha at a time, because my family really likes it. And I mean, we can drink 1 whole gallon in a day, no problem. So it kind of takes a while before you're actually having a lot of kombucha on hand. And summertime is the only time we actually drink kombucha pretty well. We don't normally drink this in the winter. I just started mine back up. I think this is our 3rd go round with this spring. So it's definitely seasonal for me. I don't try to keep up with everything between the kombucha and the kefir and the sourdough, and I'm sure there's more. This is, yeah, so I left one cup and then the SCOBY, and that finished it up. So I'm going to tighten those lids on all of my containers and leave them on the counter until that has fermented again, and then I will stick them in the fridge. Definitely much better tasting when they are cold, so I like to do that. Now, that tea that we have brewing in the back, we have to add sugar to that and have it at room temperature before we add it to our SCOBY. You can't put hot water or hot tea on that SCOBY, or it can kill the symbiotic cultures and bacteria that we really want to do the kombucha with. I do keep these things separate from any kind of cheese or sourdough or kefir. I'm not 100% sure you have to, but just in case, I keep them separated. A tip I had read or listened to someone else say at some point was to not squeeze your bags of tea. That just adds too much flavor, so don't squeeze them when you're doing kombucha. Just pick them up and pull them out. And I think this is 1 cup for a gallon. We did organic cane sugar, 1 cup. It has to be cane sugar. It cannot be like a stevia or sugar replacement. I think there's one kind of SCOBY you can do. It's called like a June SCOBY with kombucha that has honey, but that's not mine. So I have to use sugar, but these sugars are eaten up in the process. So I'm going to be leaving that on the counter for about a week before I bottle them up like you just saw, and do the process over again. Here is my beautiful bread. It rose nice. I'm going to give it a little bit of a score on the top. Then we're going to bake that. For this sourdough, we are going to bake it at 375 for about 40 minutes. Definitely check it at the 40-minute mark. So we're doing this butter in my Bosch. Like you've heard me say over and over again, Bosch is great. I think it can fit up to like 22 cups of flour. So I do a lot of things in this, but I love it for my butter. So normally, like every other day, I'm making butter at this point of my milk cow journey. So it is getting a lot of use, but there is a huge sale going on for Mother's Day, and I would love if you wanted to add one of these Bosch mixers to your kitchen, or also on the same website that I have linked below is the Nutri-Mill. So the Nutri-Mill is the grain grinder I have, and I've had that even longer than I've had my Bosch mixer. I got my Bosch after trying to fit whole wheat bread in my KitchenAid, and it was just not doing the job. So it was after I had already been grinding wheat in that Nutrimil. So I'll have that website linked below. Anytime you shop through link that I give you, I get a small commission at no extra charge for you. So if it's something you can add to your cart for your Mother's Day gift or for your mother, I would appreciate it for sure. But I really stand behind and value and love my daggone Bosch. I will tell you that. I'm ready to upgrade my Nutrimil just because my grain grinder, just because they have a new pretty one, the Harvest Mill, that is all wood, and it is beautiful. Like if I had that, I would just leave it on the counter all the time. But my Nutrimil grain mill is still working just fine, so it's not a high priority, but that is definitely on sale right now too. So give it a click down below and check it out. Everything is like $100, $120, $30 off for Mother's Day. So now I'm just rinsing as much of this buttermilk out. Oh, I love butter. My favorite thing. So I'm going to rinse this out, get it ready before this bread comes out of the oven, because this is just a match made in heaven. The last step in this kombucha is to add our cooled off tea and water. And I'm going to, after this is in, I'm actually going to fill it all the way up with my Berkey water. Thank you so much for coming along and doing a little bit of kitchen prep, meal prep, whatever, kitchen, just doing the things in the kitchen. Thank you for doing that with me. I forgot to end that video, so this is a different day, and I've finally found the sunshine, and I'm very thankful for it. But God bless. I will talk to you again. Comment below. Let me know how your week has been, and I will see you again next time. Bye.